I wish I wasn't out there for the seventh, to be honest.
I wish I wasn't out there for the seventh, to be honest.
George Kirby really showed his weakness today. With those kind of comments that he made, that is something he cannot say in public. Now, before I even get into this, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification. And boy, I had a lot of video work to do, but now George Kirby gave me another reason to go over this one. So George Kirby, not only did the Mariners lose this game, but on top of the fact that George Kirby gave up a 2-run home run, it turned out that he did not want to pitch going into the 7th inning because he was already on 90 pitches. 90 pitches. And now he's complaining about it. Now, granted, he's had some games where he did pitch 100 pitches, like what? 4 times in the year, and I guess it was really that Baltimore game that really got to him. But either way, no excuses. You had the hot hand, and I did defend Scott Service for putting him in. But my issue was that George Kirby decided that he didn't want to pitch 90 plus pitches because he felt it was too much for him. And it really just proves, like, has this generation of baseball just gotten mentally weak? Like, I just happen to remember growing up watching baseball when pitchers would go into the hundreds of the pitches. I mean, it was hundreds, not like in 90s, but hundreds, because they really wanted to pitch out there. They felt that they could do the best job they can. But then you have George Kirby saying that he couldn't even pitch into the upper 90s, which he was more than capable of doing. He is the best pitcher on this team, which I still do believe. I mean, look at Luis Castillo. He pitched going into the hundreds, and he didn't complain. And you also had the guys like Matt Brash and Andres Munoz putting in some work consecutive days, but they're not complaining. If anything, they want to pitch. And you see Eugenio Suarez going out of his way to try to get to playing 162 games. Like, he loves to play the game. But then you have this guy, George Kirby, absolutely acting extremely entitled. And now I can understand why George Kirby just kind of lost it in the 7th inning, where he gave up that 2-run home run, because his head was just completely out of it because he was upset that he had to pitch one more. But here's the thing. There are pitchers out there that would love to pitch that long. I mean, look where we are right now. Pitchers going into the hundreds almost doesn't exist anymore. Like, I can remember going back when Blake Snell in Game 6 of the 2020 World Series, he clearly did not want to get pulled out, because after he gave up a hit after pitching a one-hitter and then gave up the second hit, the manager of the Rays knee-jerk pulled him out of the game. And then Blake Snell, he had a lot to say about that. He really did express it and really made it clear.
Fucking A, man.
But now we got George Kirby, who didn't even want to pitch in the 7th inning. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe if it's just the fact that he was just frustrated throughout the season because much of his games where he couldn't get any run support, but that's just something you just don't say in public. And let me roll over that clip again.
I didn't execute. He had a good pitch. I wish I wasn't out there for the seventh, to be honest. So I was at 90 pitches, and I didn't think I needed to go anymore, but it is what it is. So.
Is that a conversation in the dugout, or is it?
It'll be a conversation soon.
I mean, that's the stuff, yeah, you really just cannot say in public. It's just really inappropriate. And, the one thing that I will credit Scott Service is he does do a good job trying to keep the media away, trying to not attract too much attention. But what George Kirby said, it definitely attracts some kind of attention, which I do find concerning, because when you say those kind of statements saying that you don't want to compete, basically, you're saying that 90 plus pitches is too much. What do you think the Rangers, the Blue Jays, and the Astros, how do you think they're going to think of that? Now they know George Kirby's weakness. Now they are really going to be motivated that whenever he pitches, it's going to get to his head, and they're going to take advantage of that. And that's the one thing you never do. You never show weakness. Just like in Cobra Kai.
We do not allow weakness in this dojo.
You don't show weakness. There is no weakness in this dojo. And George Kirby really did show the weakness. And this is the one time I actually did defend Scott Service for putting him in there. Letting him pitch in or having him pitch in the 7th inning. Because if you really understand George Kirby, what's going on, the bullpen is tired. They have just been used, and I do think much of that is on Scott Service for overusing the bullpen, yanking pitchers out when he doesn't really have to. And now he realizes that, yeah, we're going to need George Kirby because this is a long series. They don't have a day off until next week. They don't have a day off until next Wednesday. And you still have now 2 games left. And now, from what I heard, Brian Wu isn't even going to pitch. So the bullpen's going to be much busy tomorrow. And yet George Kirby had the audacity to say that he didn't want to pitch into the 90 pitches. I mean, I think this is more than just a George Kirby problem. I think this is just the mindset of the new generation of baseball players, and just in general, where people just don't want to work. They just don't want to put in the work and take risks and pitch that one more inning. Because had George Kirby had the right mindset and got that inning complete, if he had the right mindset, you would have been left with just Isaiah Campbell in the 8th inning and maybe like Matt Brash in the 9th inning, or anyone who could close in the 9th inning, or maybe like a Justin Topa. But instead, you had George Kirby completely lay an egg because his head was completely off the game. And then you had Isaiah Campbell blow it, and then Dominic Leone. So with this kind of mindset, you're doing a huge disservice to the team when you're pretty much acting a little bit entitled. Now, I will say this. I do feel bad for you that there were several games where it really got to you. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. You just have to have the right mindset and just let it go. Like, yeah, you weren't getting the run support with the exception of today, of this game. But you cannot show your weakness. Now, if you do want to show something like that, you handle that in private. Handle that with your coach, but don't let your entire team know that. And don't let now the entire world know that you're having a little personal problem of not willing to go 90-plus pitches. Because had you had a better mindset, the outcome of this game could have been a little bit different, or if not a little bit better. But those are my thoughts, my quick thoughts on the whole George Kirby thing. And I hope next time he figures it out and he doesn't have this kind of mindset. But that is it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for my quick thoughts. And hopefully the Mariners can recover.